Okay, so the next section here that we're going to take a look at today is how to solve real world, quote-unquote, problems using sine, cosine, and tangent ratios. And in order to be able to do that, there's just a couple of things that you need to know, some vocabulary that's going to come up in this section. Because what's going to be happening is we're going to be looking up and we're going to be looking down at things. And we're going to use the distances and the angles to figure stuff out. All right? And so this angle right here that you would call, like if you were looking straight across and then I looked down at the floor, that angle right there has a fun name that's called the angle of depression. Not because it tells you how sad you are, but it's because you start at horizontal and then you go down. Okay, that's why they say depression from the horizontal. This angle right here, because you are starting from the horizontal and then looking up, is called the angle of elevation. So the angle of depression measures how low you're looking below the horizon. The angle of elevation measures how high you're looking above the horizon. Okay? So those are two vocabulary words that you need to know. And then the other thing that you need to know is that there's a special relationship between the angle of depression and the angle of elevation. They are exactly the same, right? So the angle of depression and the angle of elevation are equal. Why is that the case? Right, because these two angles are alternate interior angles because these two lines are parallel, and so they are therefore the same. All right? Can I turn the page? No? Nope? All right, so for example, you might use this if you were sailing in a boat. And so here's your boat. And there is in the distance a lighthouse. And you, of course, are concerned with how far your boat is from the shore. I don't know how you draw a lighthouse. Looks like an alien that has come to destroy us. Right? So you get out your nautical charts that have lots of different landmarks labeled on there. And you find out, from looking at your charts, that this lighthouse is 121 feet above sea level. And then you take out your fancy little angle measuring device, and you discover that the angle of elevation from you to the lighthouse is 19 degrees. Okay? So the question is, Jonathan, the question is, how far away from shore are you? Because of course it is the dead of night. And that's why you're navigating by the lighthouse instead of by just looking to see whether you're going to crash into the rocks or not. Anthony? What? Okay, well first, before you get ahead of yourself, let's figure out what trigonometric ratio you're going to use to figure this out. So what? Sine, because this angle right here, you know the opposite side, right? And you want to find the adjacent, so you would use tangent, okay? So we're going to use the tangent ratio. So we know that the tangent of 19 degrees equals the opposite side, which is 121 over x. And then exactly like Anthony said, since the number that you're looking for is on the bottom of the fraction, what are you going to do with these two numbers? You're going to divide them. Yeah, you're going to do the old switcheroo here. You're going to trade these two things places and rewrite this as x equals 121 divided by the tangent of 19. And so it's a good thing you always go sailing with your calculator. And you find out that you are approximately 351 feet from the rocks, okay? And so you are a good safe distance in your sailboat away from the shore. Thank goodness for that high school geometry class you took a long time ago. Actually, every sailboat now pretty much has that GPS stuff where you know exactly how far away you are, even from like the nearest fish. What would you do if you had a storm and the satellite went out, right? Or what if instead of using it, you want to be the guy that designs those things so you can make the big bucks? Lots of good reasons for learning this. Okay, so do you understand how we did that? Yeah. So it's pretty much the same thing that we were doing last week, except this time it's going to be in a little different format where you have to figure out. I wasn't going to use the word story problem. Well, sailing your boat to a lighthouse sort of seems like a story problem.
No, I was there. I got two. I got the Randy.
I got him off his face. So I'm going to turn my shit. So I got to get other stuff.
What? What's your return?
My 2 Under Armours are too big.
Oh, I thought you were talking about our plates.